Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and the world feels heavier. News of chaos, crisis, and uncertainty floods every screen. Economies shifting, politics fracturing, technology racing ahead faster than anyone can follow. It feels like we're living in an age of noise. But beneath the noise, there's a pattern. And more than a century ago, a small anonymous book claimed to reveal that pattern. A pattern of laws, hidden yet universal. Laws that govern not only the cosmos, but your mind, your emotions, your choices. That book is the Kybalion. At first glance, it looks old, even dusty. But listen carefully, and it begins to whisper. It whispers of order in the midst of chaos, of cycles beneath the storms, of principles that hold steady when the world feels like it's breaking apart. And that's why tonight we ask, why does the Kybalion still matter today? Because maybe, just maybe, it offers us a map through the uncertainty of our times. Let's step back for a moment. When you look at history, every time humanity has faced crisis, seekers turn to wisdom traditions. During the collapse of Rome, Hermetic and Gnostic texts quietly spread. During the Renaissance, hidden manuscripts of alchemy and magic were studied in secret. And in the 20th century, amid war, upheaval, and change, the Kybalion appeared. Now here we are again, in the 21st century. Uncertainty, anxiety, polarization. And again, seekers are turning back to hidden teachings, not for entertainment, not for superstition, but for survival, for meaning, for guidance in the storm. And the Kybalion is one of those rare texts that feels timeless, because its 7 principles don't just explain the past. They offer a framework for the present. Think about it. The principle of mentalism. All is mind. In a world of algorithms and attention wars, it reminds us that thought is power, that reality itself bends with the quality of our focus. The principle of correspondence, as above, so below. In a world torn by division, it reminds us that the patterns of the cosmos repeat in the human heart, and what we heal within echoes without. The principle of vibration. Everything moves, nothing rests. In an age of anxiety and overstimulation, it reminds us that we can change our state, raise our frequency, shift our resonance. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual. In a polarized culture, it reminds us that opposites are not enemies. They are extremes of the same spectrum. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows in cycles. In a world of constant headlines and crises, it reminds us that the pendulum always swings back. The principle of cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. In an age of randomness, it reminds us of responsibility, that our choices ripple outward, shaping destiny. And the principle of gender. Not male or female, but active and receptive forces. In an age of imbalance, it reminds us that creation requires harmony, not domination. Do you see? The same 7 principles that the Kybalion whispered in 1908 feel like a mirror for 2025. But here's where it gets interesting. Some say the Kybalion itself is encoded, that it doesn't reveal everything at once, that its true teachings only unfold when the reader is ready, like a lantern that only glows when you hold it in the dark. That's why for some it reads like riddles, and for others it feels like the universe is speaking directly through the page. Now, between you and me, I've seen a guide that tries to unlock these codes. It's called the Kybalion Decoded, 7 Hermetic Laws for Mastering Reality. It doesn't claim to replace the book, but it acts like a key, a quiet lantern on the path. I'll leave a link in the description and the first comment, but think of it less as a recommendation, more as a whisper. Now back to the heart of the mystery. Why does the Kybalion still matter today? Because it's more than a philosophy. It's a survival map for consciousness. When the world shakes, its principles are grounding. When the future feels uncertain, its wisdom is stabilizing. When the noise is overwhelming, it reminds us of silence beneath the noise. But maybe the most fascinating part is this. The Kybalion hides its true power in plain sight. The text itself warns that the unready will read and dismiss it. Only the ready will glimpse the depth, and that's why it's endured for over a century. Like a locked vault, waiting for those who carry the right questions. And maybe that's the real secret, that the Kybalion doesn't just explain the universe. It tests you. It hides to see who seeks. It speaks in riddles to see who listens. It withholds to see who is willing to wrestle with mystery. Because wisdom isn't just given, it's earned. And today, as more seekers awaken, the book feels alive again, like it's been waiting for you, waiting for me, waiting for all of us who sense that beneath the chaos of the modern world, something deeper is still moving. So let me leave you with this thought. Maybe the Kybalion matters today because it reminds us that truth doesn't age. That hidden knowledge isn't hidden because it's old. It's hidden because it must be sought. And that those 7 principles, when lived, can transform fear into clarity, chaos into order, and uncertainty into awakening. And perhaps the book itself is still unveiling. Because the final secret is not in the words, it's in the reader, in you. And if you are ready and the pages begin to glow. In our next journey, we'll open another vault of hidden wisdom. But for now, remember this: knowledge is power, but hidden knowledge is transformation. If this exploration has sparked something in you, subscribe, because we've only scratched the surface of the forbidden. And there are deeper secrets still waiting. Welcome to Occultus.